the junior factor now to debate with us is Scott Roberts from Weathersfield, Connecticut. Scott, thank you for coming in.
How are you? I'd just like to make one more comment. If you would like to call in, call us at the number 721-8814. That number again is 721-8814. Our operator will be standing by to take your calls. You see the number at the bottom of your screen. So call in. We'll be raring for your calls and your comments.
All right. Now, Scott, please give us your views on the death penalty.
Well, moving back to the debate, I really think that the death penalty today is a very strong topic in today's society. It's been occurring more and more often. It seems like a bigger subject in today's nation. And I'm against the death penalty. I don't believe that taking one life in exchange for another life, like if you say...
So you think it is cruel and unusual?
In a way, yes. I think a lot of the punishments that they use, such as a needle, injection by needle, which is the most common, yes. Putting the criminal to sleep with a needle is not really the best way to put someone to...
But is it as bad as like the electric chair?
Well, no, and that can be considered another cruel and unusual punishment, in my opinion. I think zapping and electrocuting at a criminal is not the right way to go. And even firing ranges, you put someone out in a field and shoot them.
Yeah.
That's kind of harsh, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, we're both on the fence about it. I mean, you're right. You know, it does send the wrong message. Killing people isn't right. And killing someone to show someone that killing is bad is sort of a contradiction.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I think if you stick a guy in an 8x8 cell for the rest of his life,
solitary
think that's
confinement.
Worse
Some people argue it's worse.
Well,
I mean,
I know
some of the prisoners would rather actually be put to death
I'm sure they would.
than live in solitary confinement.
But I still find it to be a more suitable punishment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Scott, some people argue that, getting out on good behavior in prisons. What are your views on that?
I don't think that's a very good topic to talk about. I mean, getting out on good behavior is really it's almost an excuse, if you want to call it that. I mean, if you think about it, you have a criminal that killed a certain amount of people, a large amount of people, let's call, and they suddenly become good.
Yeah.
Can you really trust them?
Right.
I know.
Is my opinion. Can you trust
them? It
them?
doesn't really make much sense.
Right.
They're not comfortable to have in society. They might, a psychiatrist might say, "Oh no, they're reformed. They're good now." But you know what?
You can never trust these guys. I mean,
you can't really
if they get out on good behavior, who's to say they couldn't be faking it, go out and start a life of crime again?
Yeah.
Just kill more people.
I was just about to bring that up.
Right.
You can't trust them because, for all you know, they could be a good liar.
Right.
Just
Now,
get past it.
Right, exactly. Now, an argument in favor of the death penalty is that people who are being kept for life in prison is causing us to pay much more money in taxpayers as opposed to simply putting them to death.
That's another topic. That's another reason why it's tough for me to say I'm against it. I am against it in a very strong way, but that also has to make you look at the other side of the topic. Because with today's ailing economy today, we've fallen very, very far just in the past year.
Yep.
And with taxes getting higher and higher just to aid this economy, it's getting tough because we won't be able to pay for them if we're ailing more and more and more. So if we can't pay our taxes, if some people can't pay our taxes, like the more poor population of our society, then how are we supposed to aid these new jail cells and these jail houses?
Now, another thing that's causing us to pay way more in taxes is these prisoners being put and appealed over and over and over again. I know there's many, many criminals out there who have committed homicide that are being appealed over and over again instead of putting them to death.
It does cost a lot of money to kill them as well.
It does.
For the lethal injection, that is
It does.
expensive.
Yes.
That's true.
Going back to what you said, though, Jason, it is challenging for the court systems today to go about these appeals and get them out very quickly. Like, for all we know, we could have many appeals going on right at this moment. We don't know.
Right.
It's really the courts. It's what they deal with it, and they're the ones.
Many judges in the court systems are very left-leaning, and they feel sympathy for these killers.
I mean, there are people that send love letters to Charles Manson. I mean, there are some crazy people out there, and it's not right. I mean, a person like Charles Manson, a person like the Son of Sam, the guys who commit multiple murders, serial killers, they never deserve to get out, and some of them, I think, do deserve to die.
Yeah, I mean
they're not
exactly.
It's not a big loss to society
if
they are killed.
Look at the Pettit case, even. The Pettit case...
Big case in here in Connecticut.
It is. They were a normal family, mom, dad, 2 daughters, and dad wasn't home. 2 robbers broke in, burned the daughters, killed them, raped them, and he's still on trial, and he's not dead yet.
Yes, both.
And you can see why the survivor, the doctor, Pettit, would want him dead.
Yes. The 2 men, Joshua Komisarjevsky and Stephen Hayes, I followed this case ever since it occurred. It was very tragic. It's interesting how they're still on appeal, but then again, going back to what we were just talking about, having the appeal...
Do you think he should be killed?
I believe so. I believe so.
You do?
I think...
Okay. Now, that being said, do you think that if he had shot them as opposed to brutally burning them, he should be sentenced
That's a
to
different
death
story.
as well?
No.
Well, they're dead
That's
people.
not a different story.
I
mean,
It's the same people.
Well, no. Going to...
still killing them.
Yes, I understand that, but shooting them as opposed to burning them, raping them, taking advantage of them, that's a lot different. Shooting them is not a death. Like, if you take one person and shoot them, it's not... You can't say, oh, put them on the death row, give them the death penalty.
I don't think it should matter how severe the killing is.
I still think what they did, in my opinion, that was sick, that was wrong.
It was.
It should not, they shouldn't have done that, but for all we know, mentally ill or something like that, it's really tough to explain. It's tough. I mean, having someone burned and raped is just is
They
wrong.
Still killed someone,
It
and
is.
I think they should suffer.
I think
the
that
death
should be
penalty.
suffered by the death penalty, but with the shooting, I think that's different. I think it should be
But they're
put...
still taking a life.
It is, but I think
still taking
instead
a
of that, it should be the life in prison instead of that.
All right. Well, Scott, wrapping up now, we thank you for coming on the first ever debate on the Junior Factor.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very
And
much. Good
Thank you
luck.
for coming on.
Thank you.